Hey, everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, August the 9th, with the moon in hardworking, sensible Virgo. A good Monday to start the new work week, because Virgo is also the sign of the worker and the sign of being of service and helping others. Well, the moon goes into Virgo at 7:56 a.m. Pacific time. But all through the day, relational and pleasure-seeking Venus will be interacting with nebulous, inspiring Neptune. Now, being nebulous, this Venus-Neptune could awaken a lot of romantic feelings, can be very favorable for creative inspiration or just wanting to visit a museum or somehow being inspired creatively. But the nebulous part of Neptune, it could also be that you're falling in love with love and you're not really dealing with the person. So you got to be careful if you're being attracted to somebody new with Venus to Neptune, that you've got your head out of the clouds and your feet on the ground. But the moon in Virgo will help keep you more practical. On Tuesday, now discerning communication Mercury will be interacting with expansive lucky Jupiter. This is a very favorable combination for traveling or making travel plans or making educational plans, because it's time to get back to school for many of you. But also, this is very favorable for writing, publishing, marketing. And the moon is in sensible, analytical, practical Virgo. And by late morning, 10 a.m. to 12 noon approximately Pacific time, the moon will be in harmony with innovative Uranus. So you're going to be able to think out of the box with the moon Uranus, but with the moon in Virgo, you can be very sensible about it. And so you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. On Wednesday, the moon is going to go void of course. That's that unproductive, flat energy that I always talk about, how you don't want to initiate a new project when the moon is void of course. Well, that's 4:22 a.m. Pacific time to 1:08 p.m. Pacific time. At that point, the moon goes into fair-minded, sociable Libra. And Libra is ruled by Venus, creative, sociable Venus. Venus will be in harmony with Pluto, powerful, intense Pluto, all day. So the Venus-Pluto could be very favorable for helping a relationship become more intimate, more private, more passionate. Great for artistry, Venus, because you can feel that drive and that passion to express yourself. But all this good energies of Venus, Pluto, good for making money. Also, best if you wait till the moon goes into Libra, ruled by Venus, at 1:08 p.m. Pacific time. On Thursday, the moon continues in Libra, but in the early morning, it's going to be in harmony with pragmatic, structured Saturn from about 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's a really good time to be getting some work done, achieving your goals, or having some business meetings, especially with Moon in Libra, very favorable for negotiating a win-win solution. On Friday, the moon continues in Libra, always seeking peace and harmony and fairness. But there's going to be a bit of a power struggle with moon to Pluto from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. approximately Pacific time. But then later, around 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific time, the moon will be in harmony with expansive, lucky Jupiter. That moon Jupiter, you could be feeling very optimistic. Also, it's very sociable. and also great for all things Jupiter, traveling, studying, publishing. The moon will briefly be void of course, not really much to even consider, because the moon will leave Libra and go into Scorpio at 5:02 p.m. Pacific time. Now, Libra energy, when the moon was in Libra once a month in these past couple of days, Libra wants to be fair-minded and pleasing and being accepted by everybody. Very charming and diplomatic and fair-minded Libra. But when the moon goes into Scorpio, the general public tone is Scorpio is all or nothing. It's very intense. It's not this like lighthearted, casual energy, but it can be very favorable to just going after your goals in life. Now, Saturday, the moon continues in intense, passionate Scorpio, but it's going to be in a stressful angle to Saturn, restricted business Saturn, 9 a.m., 11 a.m. Pacific time. So the moon Saturn can be positive if you are just really focused on accomplishing your work goals. But usually it means whatever you're trying to accomplish seems as taking longer or harder or being restricted. But that's only for a couple of hours Pacific time in the morning. Then the moon will be triggering electric, exciting, out-of-the-box Uranus from about 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And it's a Saturday night. Moon can be all this social bonding, kind of nurturing energy when it's an intense Scorpio. But when it's triggered by Uranus, it can really bring a lot of new exciting events, activities to your Saturday night. Sunday, the moon continues in Scorpio, will be in harmony with charitable, intuitive, selfless Neptune from like 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific time. By 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, the moon in an intense Scorpio will be triggering Jupiter. So again, all things Jupiter, you will be traveling, learning, teaching, publishing. Those are all the domains of Jupiter that the moon in Scorpio, you're really feeling this really strong push to go for it, to make those travel plans or to update your website or send out an email blast to get more business. That would be the moon Jupiter in the late afternoon Pacific time. Now, before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for a one-question offer for a nominal fee. To be able to order it, go to astrologyanswers.com's homepage, click on the tab that says Advisors, and then scroll down till you find my name and just click on my name. I want to thank you for watching. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.